Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better. At Aquavita, visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the host of the Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. I'm also the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. Along with my wife, Amanda, we investigate anything and everything paranormal, be it Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, haunted locations, river monsters, cryptids, you name it. If it's paranormal, we will be interested in investigating it. So let's get right into this. Amanda's surgery went really well yesterday. She's back. As you can hear, she's kind of in the other room watching TV, relaxing, trying to recuperate. So I was going to have her on the podcast, but I just don't feel like she's going to be up to it yet. So we're super excited. She did really well. She's still doing really well. She's kicking butt and taking names. So it wasn't anything, bad. It was actually good. It was a health-related thing that is going to help her in the future. And I'll let her talk more about that later. She wasn't sick or anything like that. It was kind of a voluntary surgery, if you will. So she'll talk more about that in the future. Maybe she'll do a weight loss video or something like that, or videos for you guys on her own channel. All right, let's get into this. Let's share our screen with you guys, and we'll make this quick as well. As you know, we are sponsored by Manscaped. If you come over here and put in the discount code of DWP, you guys will be able to get a discount. They have a lot of amazing products. I've been using their products now for a couple months. I'm very happy with them. Really like everything they sent me. They sent me some underwear, the down there trimmer, the ear trimmer, nose and ear trimmer, which works really well. Actually, I was very surprised. Really like this product. And then they sent me the let me see, which package was it? Hold on, let me show you guys. No, it wasn't. It was the performance package. So I got the crop reviver, the trimmer, the nose trimmer, the crop preserver, and I got a nice carrying bag with this. I got a t-shirt that's really, really comfortable and soft, and then I got some underwear. So anyways, I'm going to move on from that. Again, if you're interested in picking up something from Manscaped, put in the code DWP when you get to the checkout, and that'll save you a little bit of money. All right, so let's get into this. People keep asking me. Yes. Keep asking me. I've got a puppy playing behind me. He's interested in making his presence known, if you will. Okay, so this is the Deep Woods Paranormal audio podcast. We're over on Speaker, iHeartRadio, and then we're again on like 60 different platforms. Everybody asked me in the description down here, you can find all of our information. So if you're watching this, you can come back over here and listen to this only if you're in the car or something like that, or wanting to go to bed. Our stories aren't very well. We try and keep them non-scary. Hopefully, they're not scary to people. I mean, we try and keep it G-rated, so if a little kid's on here or listening with you, they don't get afraid. So, anyways, all of our information is here. Manscaped, buy me a coffee, all that fun stuff. If you'd like to donate to us, you can go over and buy us a coffee. They're about $3 a donation. Okay, let's move on. We've made some changes again to the Deep Woods Paranormal YouTube channel. Again, all of our links, most of our links are here. Buy me a coffee. And then I've changed the header and the logo on here. We are still using the Deep Woods Paranormal logo. I just like this better. So anyways, and then all of our videos are down below. So you guys can go through and choose. Over here also, we also changed the header on our Rumble page, and then left our regular logo in here. And then now we've uploaded a bunch of videos. It takes about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days for the 3 or 4 days for these to load sometimes from over onto our YouTube page. So if you're not seeing a video on our audio, let me try that again. If you're not seeing an audio video podcast that you want to watch and you see it on our audio channel, and you come over here on Rumble, it's not here. It's probably on our YouTube channel, and it'll be over here shortly, usually within 1 or 2 days. This one looks like it took about 3 days to get over here. The audio only Dogman podcast. The video podcast should hopefully be coming on here soon. And then, of course, we've got all these other things. We're putting out shorts now. We're trying to do video shorts anywhere from like 15 seconds to 5 minutes. So people seem to be really liking those, and we're going to continue with that. Okay. All right. So because Amanda was in the hospital, I was just thinking the whole time I'm there, man, we should do a podcast on this because we've investigated so many different hospitals. And we'll get into that in a minute. But I kind of want to go through and talk about hospitals in general. Just because a hospital is closed, even when it's open, doesn't mean it's not haunted. Hospitals that are working hospitals where there's people actually, still there and still, taking care of people and stuff. There are entities that do seem to hang around hospitals for some reason, whether they had an untimely death, maybe something worse happened to them. Maybe they were killed during the surgery. I mean, not killed, but maybe they died during the surgery. Maybe there was a mistake made during their surgery. Maybe they died as they got to the hospital from a wound. A lot of different things can go into it. Maybe they just don't know they're dead. Maybe they're just curious about other patients. Who knows for sure? I mean, I can go on about that for forever. And but we've investigated. Let's see, we've investigated about 5 or 6 hospitals in our career. We've been down in morgues. We've been in other places. Maybe we'll talk about morgues later because I got a couple cool stories about that too. But I wanted to talk about what this website's calling the top 10 haunted hospitals. Again, it does not have to be a closed, abandoned hospital to be haunted. Hospitals seem to retain a lot of energy because there's a lot of emotions that happen at hospitals. Unfortunately, we lose our loved ones there sometimes. Sometimes we have other things that happen. Maybe we're severely injured. Maybe, that energy stays there. Your emotions that were caused from your trauma can sometimes get left there. Sometimes, things happen. People just pass away in their sleep in the hospital. So, and all the stuff that's been going on lately, it just makes it worse. So anyways, this is number 10. This is an old Thule Hospital in Utah. And I apologize if I butchered that name. Looks like it was built in 1897. It started out as a family house. And in 1913 was transformed into what was known as a country poorhouse, where the elderly and those with special needs were taken care of. And it says by 1953, the building had changed once again into the old Thule Hospital, which featured improved accommodations for patients and added benefits for individual bathrooms and a dedicated morgue. Okay, well, let's break that down. So this place really started out as a non-hospital, and that happens with some of these old hospitals too. Some of them have been around for a couple of years. They've been renovated, added on to. and stuff like that. Some of them I've heard that they've built on top of old cemeteries that supposedly they moved the bodies from, and they didn't move the bodies from. So yeah, I mean, who knows what's real and what's not. You have to do your own research if you're looking into a certain hospital and find out what their situation is. But this place started out as what sounds like an old family house, and then it basically became a place where the elderly were kept to pretty much die, if you will, live out the remainder of their life at this location. And then it became an actual hospital, which is pretty cool. So it says over the years, the old Thule Hospital has been the site of the site of a multitude of hauntings and various reports of paranormal activity. An Alzheimer patient known as Wes is said to haunt the hospital.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With his favorite site being the room he was admitted to when he was alive. Many other ghostly characters have been sighted in the hospital, including a young child and Samuel F. Lee himself, the man who originally built the house for him and his family in 1897. One of the most chilling reports at the old Thule Hospital is the sound of a child's voice uttering the words, "Daddy, shot, sorry." This is creepy enough on its own, but gets even more alarming when you find out that the Utah Ghost Organization claims these words have come from the ghost of a child who was accidentally shot by his father. Oh, geez. That's sad. And again, there's the trauma, an elderly patient who died in the location, and then this kid arrives and he's been shot by his dad by accident. I mean, imagine if you had a kid and you accidentally shot him. I mean, wow, I can't even imagine what that would feel like. And imagine that energy being left on a location and that child's last moments basically getting trapped maybe in time, which is more like a residual type haunt, where it basically it's just like a rerun playing in history. But if that's intelligent, then the kid's just trying to explain what happened to him. And an Alzheimer patient, he's just haunting the location that he had passed away at. I would imagine there's more. I would imagine there's more to that story than just that. Both of those stories, but these are just kind of abbreviated information. If you'd like to find out more, I will leave this link to all these sites I'm going to talk from in the link below. It'll be at the very bottom. So this is the Alton Mental Health Hospital in Illinois. Is the only facility in this list which remains a functional hospital to this day. So it's still open. It was built in the early 1900s. The hospital is known for the harsh mistreatment of his patients, many of whom were subject to electronic shock therapy, lobotomies, and cold water treatments, all of which were standard everyday practice in this hospital. So again, I talked about emotions, I talked about energy, and how all this translates into being left on a location. And if the spirits were not able to cross over, if you will, or be at peace, if you will, they are still, wanting to get revenge, possibly, or get back at the people that did this to them. I mean, imagine if you were subject to these things. Lobotomy just means they basically tap into your brain with an ice pick up like through your eye, and they poke a certain point in your brain, and it basically causes you to stop not functioning, but stop being able to communicate in any way, shape, or form. You can't really talk anymore after that. You can kind of see, you can probably hear, you can still kind of get up and move around, but most of the time you're just very lethargic and stuff like that. Those people just basically have been silenced. Terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Cold water treatments, I imagine that was bad, but I would imagine the shock therapy would have been a lot more severe. Sitting there like being shocked almost to death, but not to death, and then revived, and then have it done again to you over. That's just torture. So I mean, imagine these souls are probably pretty tortured from the experiences they had. I mean, put yourself in their shoes and what they experienced, and it'll help you kind of understand why maybe they're still haunting this hospital. They're possibly reliving these events over and over and over again, and they're kind of in their own hell, if you will. So it says many people today, including the staff, patients, and visitors, have reported hearing unusual noises, from doors randomly slamming shut to undecipherable whisperings. One of the creepiest reports come from the nurses who was on duty and heard someone ask, "Who's that?" She turned around to respond and discovered there was no one there, and no one had been in the building at that time. So she was by herself in the building, and she heard, "Who's that?" So that shows intelligence. If a spirit's actually coming up behind somebody and asking them, "Who's that?" Maybe it was asking, who she was or something. But whispering, I mean, that's very common in most haunted locations, hearing whispering. I can turn on this ghost box right here, and guess what you're going to hear a lot of? They're just whispering and talking back and forth between each other. The spirits, they're just talking to each other, and every once in a while they'll interact with me, and then they'll go back to talking to themselves. It's pretty cool. So I mean, I've experienced that with a spirit box, but this spirit box here, it takes out the white noise, so essentially what you're getting is you're just getting voices coming through in actual voices and sentences, and it's a lot clearer than the other spirit box. What's cool about this one too is you can actually add the other spirit box to this at the same time and listen through and see what you experience. So let's see. It says, since the facility is still hospital today, tours are strictly forbidden, but people who have taken photos on site while visiting patients have reportedly caught images of orbs with a patient's face of a human male on the front. So essentially they've caught orbs with faces on them. And I'm not going to get into orbs because there's a lot of people that do believe in them, and there's a lot of people that don't believe in them. I'm more on the skeptical side. I've seen orbs. I've seen, dust orbs. I've seen water vapor. I've seen all kinds of stuff in pictures. I've also seen things in pictures I can't tell you why that's there. There's a ball of energy. And I've caught video of orbs, just dust orbs, on our DVR cameras. I've been using DVR cameras for 20 plus years. And, we've had them where it just looks like it's raining orbs, but it's just dust. It's dust and dirt and water vapor and all that other stuff and air. And then you get this big, beautiful ball of light that appears out of nowhere. and it's emitting its own light, and it like scoots through the picture and then flies up or flies down or blobs into something. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that too much more. So, yeah, I mean, I would say a good portion of paranormal investigators and don't, and if you believe in orbs, that's awesome. That's your own thing. There is no right or wrong with the paranormal pretty much at this point. I mean, nobody can prove anything left, either way. But orbs are pretty easy to disprove, to be honest with you. I take that back. So, I think it's one of those things where it's, if you do get an orb, it has to be really, really cool for it to be really something. And I'm not going to get into orbs. We'll talk about orbs in some other video. But anyways, all right. So Danvers State Lunatic Asylum. Here we go. Here's a lunatic asylum. So offers often referred to today as Wishes Castle on the Hill. It says Danvers State Lunatic Asylum was built in 1878 on a site which was originally in Salem Village, the first actual location of the Salem witch trials in 1962. When it started out, Danvers was renowned for its modern treatments and suburban patient care, but it wasn't long before the asylum fell victim to lack of funding, overstaffing, and overpopulation, which caused it to deteriorate into something more akin to a concentration camp. Oh, lovely. So between 1940 and 1950, the facility housed more than 2,000 patients in a building, which is designed to house 600 people. It says patients became haggard and ghostly, often left in complete isolation for days on end. Things were so bad that the dead patients would go unnoticed for days, if not weeks, in 1992. It says it was closed down, demolished, and renovated into the set of apartments that is. Oh boy. Despite this haunted insane asylum being torn down and reconstructed as a different property, bizarre activity and paranormal sightings still abound. Residents and visitors have recorded.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Full body apparitions, flickering lights, the sound of unexplained footsteps and doors opening and closing on their own. That sounds a lot like Linda Vista Hospital. So this one's pretty cool. I mean, I wish this is historic. This thing does look like a castle. It's sad that they tore it down, and it's sad that they suffered from lack of funding. It would have been nice to go investigate this location. I feel bad again for the people that were just left to, left with these dead bodies. I imagine the situation there was not very, very nice. So here's another mental hospital, Byberry Mental Hospital in Pennsylvania. It's number 7 on the most haunted list of insane asylums. It first opened its doors in 1907. It started off as a working farm for the mentally ill before it became a full-fledged mental hospital in the 1920s. As more and more people were admitted to the hospital, the population significantly expanded, which led to severe patient neglect and unbelievable levels of abuse. That's terrible. And it says lack of funds left the hospital in a state of disrepair, while patients being forced to survive with no clothing, insufficient food, and sewage-filled hallways or bedrooms. Padded cells, solitary confinement, regular beatings, electronic shock treatments, restraint devices, and lobotomies were the norm. In 1990, state authorities closed down the hospital after a thorough investigation revealed inhumane living conditions, yet its dark past continues on to this day. A myriad of horror stories surrounding this facility after it closed became inundated with vagrants, gangs, thieves, satanic cults, and former visitors seeking shelter. One mentally deranged and brutal violent patient is said to reside in the miles of catacombs beneath the building, where he lies in wait with a large knife, eager to slit the throat of curious explorers unlucky enough to cross his path. Oh, that's great. As well as this chilling legend, the hospital has also been the spot of several paranormal sounds and sightings, including human-like growling and physical scratches appearing on visitors' bodies. So that's more satanic, or it's just negative energy. So here's one that probably you guys have heard of: the Rolling Hills Asylum in New York. That's one that I know of. So let's see. The asylum began its life as the Genesee County Poor Farm in 1827, a dumping ground for the outcasts of society. It says here orphans and widows lived alongside the severely mentally handicapped and criminals, all of whom were known as inmates. There were more than 1,700 documented deaths, with hundreds more unclaimed bodies believed to be buried on the site. In 1950, the poor farm was developed into the Old County Home and Infirmary before it was transformed into a set of shops and later an antique mall. What are all the reports? Let's see. What are all the reports in this real haunted asylum? This is one of the strangest occurrences took place in 2007 when the Rolling Hills case manager Susie Jensen was working on a public ghost hunt. The group was sat in a circle in the basement, and as Susie began to speak, a glow stick on the only form of light in the room began to sway back and forth. A rocking horse started to move back and forth, and several people saw a hand suddenly appear to reach for a ball. It says the second floor corridor on the east wing is condemned, commonly referred to as shadow hallway, due to the staggeringly high number of shadow figures seen walking through the halls and crawling across the floor. A 7-foot tall patient with gigantism is also commonly spotted in this room, where he spent most of his life alone. So yeah, that's my friend actually owns this hospital now. I was gonna say it will sound familiar, but yeah, this is crazy. She's actually told me that there was all this stuff going on, and that's why she bought this hospital. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. More sanitariums. These are just sad. It's all sad. Here's one you guys will know: Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. There's been multiple shows shot at this location. I would love to go out there and shoot a lot of video, and maybe even do a live at this location and see what we get. It says Waverly Hills Sanatorium comes in number 2, as it started out the Waverly School in the late 1800s and evolved into a hospital in 1908, designed to safely accommodate between 40 and 50 tuberculosis patients. as the disease developed into an epidemic, the hospital was expanded to support at least 400 patients and was considered to be one of the best facilities of the time. In 1961, the hospital was closed down following the discovery of a tuberculosis cure antiseptic. So it says today the Waverly Hills Sanatorium is known by many as the most spiritually active place in the world, with paranormal reports every single day. The terrifying reports surrounding the story of a nurse who hung herself by light bulb wire when she was discovered she had become pregnant out of wedlock by one of the owners of the sanatorium. Many unusual sightings have also been spotted in the area. Many unusual sightings have also been spotted in the area known as the Death Tunnel, where bodies were disposed of away from the eyes of the living. And again, it says various paranormal TV shows have spent time recording at Waverly Hills Sanatorium, including the cast of The Most Haunted, one of them who had scratches inflicted upon them while they were visiting. So here's another asylum. You guys can come on here and go through this page yourself. Again, I will link it at the bottom of the description on everything, the audio and the video podcast. All right, so let's go over here. This is one that I'm really intrigued and I'm trying to get into. We were going to get into this last year, but unfortunately, things didn't work out, and there's a very long waiting list to get into this location. So just need to still trying to get a hold of the owner. Anyways, this is called the Yorktown, and it's very, very active. I have a lot of friends here in Texas that have gone through this location, and they've seen some things that they just are scratching their heads about. They just don't know, what it was or how it happened. This place is supposedly in disarray inside. Basically, it looks like people, basically it looks like everything was just dropped, and then basically everybody just walked out in the middle of a shift. And it's really amazing. So let me read this to you guys. It says, this is the abandoned Texas hospital. It was recently named the most haunted place on earth. Supposedly it has demonic activity, it has patients, it has all kinds of things going on. So let me read this to you. So it says, if you're in the mood to see a ghost, visiting the most haunted place in Texas is the surefire way just to do that. The abandoned Yorktown Memorial Hospital was actually named the most haunted place on earth by The Sun, a UK-based publisher. Complete with long, narrow corridors, slick green walls, and nearly 2,000 deaths under its belt, this hospital is a hub for paranormal activity. It was open for public tours and overnight investigations, that is, if you're brave enough to visit. To learn more about this haunted place, take a look below. So this is about 80 miles south of San Antonio. Yorktown has a population that barely exceeds a couple thousand people. There's a good reason people stay far away from this town. Okay. So this is what the front looks like if you're watching the video podcast. It says the hospital was built in 1951. Let's see. Basically, it was run by the Roman Catholic Church. It operated until 1986, at which point it became a drug rehabilitation center. Excuse me, I can't talk. So you can see by the pictures, if you're watching the video podcast, here's like an old operating room. What looks like an old operating room. Here's the hallways. It's the place is kind of in disarray. This looks like an old church in here. This looks like an old waiting room, maybe, or a kitchen. Yeah. So definitely a place I want to check out. It's on my hit list. When we start doing the show I'm putting together, I'm still trying to figure out the details here. So bear with me. That's why it hasn't been publicly announced yet. But I'm working on things. I got a lot of stuff to go on in the background. If you're a paranormal team or a paranormal group, or you're just, a historian that is into the paranormal, if you, basically just investigate on your own and you have a location, that not just ghosts, this goes for everything, UFOs, dogman, cryptid creatures, Bigfoots, river monsters, we want to come out and meet you. And essentially the show is going to be basically based on that. We're going to come out and meet with people. More than likely it'll be mostly other groups, and we want to do a full investigation with you guys at the location. It might be one night, it might be 2 nights, we'll see. But it'll be mainly Bigfoot related, but we will still investigate other things. So I know everybody's real big into Bigfoot and Dogman and stuff. I've never actually gone out to research Dogman, but I think we're going to be doing that in the future. I just started a Dogman podcast. So here's one more for you. This is the Linda Vista Hospital. This is in LA. Now, I've actually investigated this location. It is a really cool location. Had a lot of activity there, saw a lot of things. Unfortunately, it's been basically turned into apartments now, or a retirement community or something. But really cool location. If you get the chance, if you're in LA, go visit somebody that lives there. It's been used for many shows and stuff like that. So anyways, it's getting a little long. Let me stop sharing my screen because I think I'm about to get a delivery at the door and the dogs are going to go absolutely nuts. So anyways, if you guys have a question, if you want to tell me about a location you've been to before, please comment down below. If you're interested in possibly being on the show, and you have a location you'd like to share with me, and we're going to be doing YouTube. It'll be basically a YouTube Rumble show weekly, hopefully, and then hopefully we'll get picked up by the mainstream media or something. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please hit that notification bell. Please subscribe. Please like the video, and please share this on your social media platforms. Again, we can't say it enough. We really appreciate you guys and all the support you've given us, and we will catch you on the next one.